Hello, and welcome to Penny for a Tale. This is our monthly, or going to be monthly one-shot with me, Spence. And I have some fantastic players on with me today. And Mitch doesn't have to run this for once, which is fantastic.
Wow.
He gets to be a player too. So if we could go around the screen and have all of the players introduce themselves, starting with Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian, and sometimes I do Pathfinder on that channel, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
Stick around.
How about Denise? Denise, say hi.
Who, me? No.
Yeah, you.
No, not me.
Yes, you. Just say hi. I'll tell them what your stuff is while you get your food.
Okay, well, look, I mean, I can't help if I'm an hour behind you guys. I'm hungry, don't judge me. I'm making a bacon sandwich, okay?
So this is Denise Lehman. She is amazing and a wonderful artist, and you can find all of her art on Instagram.com/layman's terms. That's LAYMONS terms.
Yay.
Yeah, I know things and stuff. And hey, this curly haired dude above me. Hi.
Am I above? Oh yeah, I guess I am above you.
Who are you?
My name is Mitchell, and I do stuff with Penny for a Tale. And yeah, you can check us out at pennyforatale.com is where you can check us out. And of course, we have our Facebook, our Twitters, our Twitches. Feel free to check us out. And if you are watching now, what you should do is subscribe. To get nice.
So right above Ian's head, there's a subscribe button, and you can hit it.
And you can also hit Ian's head.
Yeah,
you could. He won't feel it though.
Nope.
The hair gets in the way.
Yep.
And I say this as a fellow hair person.
Yeah, darn that technology.
Everybody has floofy hair except for me, but that's fine. Hi, I'm Spence. I do this Penny for a Tale thing. Sometimes I interview people with Mitch, and sometimes I play really weird characters, but it's freaking amazing. And I'm also co-host on Game School, which is on the TSR Podcast Network, and I own Resident Moon Audiobook Solutions. Okay, done. Let's take a breather. Tonight, we are going to be playing the game Children of the Fall by Frenzy Kitty Games. Children of the Fall is a game about kids joining together and surviving in a broken world. The grown-ups have all gone mad. They are violent, vicious, and savage, hell-bent on killing and destroying everything that isn't one of them. They are what we call the Fallen. This is the fate that awaits us all one day when we are between the ages of 16 and 18. We play as the survivors living through this apocalypse as it's unfolding. Each of us will take on the role of one of these children of the fall, who are desperately trying to survive and forge a life amongst the chaos. And we will each play our characters similar to an actor playing a character in a film, saying what they say and describing what they do. Children of the Fall is a game of collaborative storytelling. There is no winning or losing. The prize is to tell a rich and dramatic story together. We take turns directing the story and framing scenes. The game uses a simple engine that allows us to add plot twists to the story as we go, even when it's not our turn to frame the scene. At the start of each game session, we will select a mission to play. The mission will help us start off each session with a goal. Okay, quick note on the tone of this game. Children of the Fall is a game that is intrinsically dark in nature. The protagonists are vulnerable characters that are living in a horrifying and dangerous world where a vicious and untimely death could lay in wait around every corner. As such, it should be noted that certain scenes in the narrative may explore potentially upsetting narrative for some gamers. So if anybody gets uncomfortable, I know this crowd, we should be fine. But if anybody gets uncomfortable, just let me know. And if you get uncomfortable in the chat, you can just turn it off for a little bit, although we don't want you to. This is a GM-less story. So what that means is that each of us will direct a scene as we go around. So basically, I will start off and I will say, okay, we are here. These are what our characters, this is what my character and any NPCs are doing. This is the atmosphere. And if anybody wants to make a twist in this story, in this little 5-minute scene, you can say, I want to spend a story point. We all start off with 2 story points, and that should be in your character sheet. So you can spend a story point to say, but the ceiling collapses, or a fallen comes out from under a grate, or something like that. I then would have to roll 2d6 to see if that actually happens, or if I fail, or if I succeed and I'm able to avoid a tragic thing. If one of those tragic things happens, I get a trauma, and everybody's trauma is a little bit different. So depending on what character archetype you're playing. So if it comes up, we will go over it. So I have given all of the players their character sheets ahead of time, and I've asked them to fill out who they are, what they look like, what age they are. We decided before the stream that we are playing, our tribe is called the Pennies, and the time frame is 6 months after the fall. What we have not decided is, where are we? What is our setting?
Ooh, can it be what's that, like Northwest Canada?
Sure. It can be Northwest Canada.
Northwest.
So like British Columbia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Northeast. Oh, sorry.
And then, like, are we in a rural area? Are we in a metropolitan area? Are we in a mall? Are we on somebody's farm?
Oh man.
Are we on a base of some kind?
Mitch, this is your baby. You do it.
Well, no, this is a collaborative thing.
It's
not my baby.
We all have say in what we're doing.
I've had a baby.
How about we started in the city like Toronto, and we have just been moving outwards?
That makes a lot of sense for the mission that we're going on, which is moving right along.
See?
Okay. So at what area are we in at the start of our scenes? Have we hit another metropolitan area, or are we in the woods, or what?
Vancouver.
That doesn't help me because I've never been.
Yeah,
Right.
no idea.
It's metropolitan-ish.
Probably, I would. Yeah, I mean, if we're traveling outwards, we probably want to follow power lines instead of roads. So
Okay.
maybe we're hiking along, because they're like the power lines they're not paved, but they're the trees are cut down. I mean, you could theoretically just hike right along them.
Okay, so we're
keep you off
kind
the
of in a
roads.
backwoodsy area.
Yeah, like between 2 smaller towns, but still kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, that helps. What do you have a shortage of as far as supplies or fuel or we've decided that our group consists of 12 kids.
Right.
So what would be a shortage that we have?
Oh,
Why not supplies?
Sure. What kind of supplies?
medicine.
Shoes. Because
Yes.
if you're not actually buying shoes, 6 months later, that's probably right about when everyone's gonna
Okay.
run the
My
souls through.
Nikes.
Okay.
Probably food.
Yeah, I mean, we have shoes, just nothing I would be willing to wear.
If we're going along and we're backpacking, we may have some food, but food is also one thing that we can put on there as as a shortage.
We're running out of gushers.
Yeah.
And gummy bears,
Look,
cookies.
I mean, we're all teenagers. We all eat a lot.
Yeah, and we can also loot places. That's fine. What do we have a surplus of?
Attitude.
Okay, but like
Sass.
physically. We're
Uh,
not talking about just you, Denise. God.
Look, okay, it's about me. Thank you.
maybe like warm clothes.
Yeah, we're in Canada.
Yeah.
Probably warm clothes.
Sass and warm clothes.
Yeah, like sleeping
Yeah,
bags.
maybe
and
maybe we
tents.
have a maybe we have fuel too that we were
Like-
planning on using, but we don't have anything to use it for. But we
Like, are we talking like petrol fuel or wood fuel?
like petrol.
Oh. So no building a bonfire with petrol, right?
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do it.
Just saying. Good lighter fuel fluid.
Alrighty. So, do we have any immediate threats right now? Our long-term threat is obviously becoming the Fallen. But what are our immediate threats right now? It could be wildlife. It could be
I think.
not having secure surroundings. It could be a rival gang.
How about other a set of older kids have been tracking us because of our surplus of clothes and fuel, and they want to take it from us?
So I'm gonna call them swipers.
Ooh.
Or quarters.
No, I'm calling them swipers because swiper, no swiping.
No swiping.
I feel like,
Trust me, it's big with the kids these days.
Yeah.
right? I feel like moose might be a threat, maybe.
Okay, so swipers,
Moosin'.
wildlife.
A flock
Angry
of moosin'.
Mooses.
No, that's a skit he's quoting.
Yeah.
I just can't remember who the
Brian Regan.
Moosin and Mises and all that. Okay, so everybody, let's talk about who we are, starting with Mitch. Who are you?
All right,
What is your name?
Hey, my name is Lucas, and I am 14. I am primarily the leader in this this place of the pennies. And I kind of found myself in this role because no one else wanted to. I'm very much afraid of failing everyone and having the guilt upon my soul. And I don't.
You can answer the last one after we do our introductions if you
Okay,
don't have
cool.
anything there.
I mean, I don't think I deserve to be the leader. Okay.
And so on your second page, there are two things. There's one that's called the remnant. A remnant is something that you have kept from the fall. So something from your time of innocence. It could be a photograph. It can be a tool. It can be, a lucky rock that you painted. So what is your remnant?
It is a guitar pick that my dad used to play guitar with. It's just this little blue little pick that I keep.
Now, normally in a campaign setting, you would talk about your secret, but he does have a secret on for the stream. What is your secret? You can also come back to that after we've introduced everybody if you'd like.
I would say my secret is I have been taking a little bit more food than what we all agreed upon, just because I felt like I need it, and it's a way for me to relieve stress.
Okay. Cool. So that is Lucas. And then we have the Denise.
Sorry, hold on. I'm hungry.
Okay. Denise is the diplomat.
Yes. My name is Miss. I am 13 years old, and I am the diplomat of this group. I am the diplomat of this group because I am not wrong. I mean, I might be wrong sometimes, but no, I'm never wrong. I'm able to do this because I um I have really good argumentative skills, meaning that I always win my arguments.
What do you look like?
I'm 13 and I have short, very red hair, and I'm too tall for my age. And I have this long, really angled face, and my eyes are too big.
And I forgot to ask, but Lucas, what do you look like?
Lucas is a red curly-haired individual with these bright green eyes and freckles, very pale. What up, Z-Com?
Okay. Okay. Miss.
Yes.
So what is your remnant?
Remind me what that is again.
It's something that you kept from before the fall.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I have this stuffed animal, little Triceratops. His name is Stuggy, and I kept him.
I love you for that. Mostly because I'm referencing a D&D game that we played over a year ago. And what is your secret?
My secret is that I'm afraid of the dark, and I don't actually complete all of my watches that I'm supposed to. I fall asleep, even though I'm not supposed to, but I wake up just in time to, hand over the watch. So, don't tell anybody.
Okay. We won't, because, fourth wall. Let's see. And so then we come to Ian, you're playing Chris.
I am.
So tell us about Chris.
Well, Chris is kind of a tall lad, lanky. He dresses nice, even though he doesn't need to, because the world freaking ended. He's probably about 18 by now, but there's not really any convenient way to check the calendar. He's got medium hair, dark, kind of swept back, dark brownish gray eyes. And he's pretty quiet, even though it sounds like he towers over the rest of the 11 members of the Pennies. And he's really nervous about the swipers.
Okay. And since you've got it filled out,
Yep.
why don't you tell us why is the tribe something you're willing to die for? Ian is playing the archetype of the martyr.
Yeah. So Lucas, maybe he remembers this. So about a half a year ago, Chris was pulled from the rubble of his house. He was the only survivor out of his 7 siblings and both of his parents. But judging by his age and the fact that he was the youngest of 7, it's not likely that his siblings or parents would be anything like they were before the fall had they survived. But Lucas and the rest of the Pennies basically sorted him out of the rubble. It looked like arson. The whereabouts of it, he's been pretty quiet, but ever since then he's just owed everything to them.
And then going through your questions, what have you lost that gave you a reason to live?
Well, Chris was always pretty tight-lipped about his family situation, but everybody sort of knew it was pretty bleak. And just like his 6 older brothers, he didn't really have any aspirations and a lot of people
That makes sense
suspected
because he won a real
abuse
big truck and got
inside
a
of his
real little
house.
dink.
So
Your
in
friend
a
drew a
way,
Lego and his mom had to
losing
go
his
through his
family
proofs to make sure
was
it came out, and his sister said some pennies came
sort
out
of an
before the Lego.
opportunity for him to cut his own path.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what is your remnant? What have you kept from before the fall?
It's a business card from my school counselor right before the fall, because we were coming up on high school graduation. It would have just been his last semester. His counselor wanted him to go to college, and he didn't think it was feasible. And the counselor wrote on the back of it, "Something big is on the way." But I suspect he didn't realize the apocalypse was that thing big.
Gotcha. And what is your secret?
I don't know how much of it I want to give away, but it has everything to do with the fire at the start of this apocalypse.
Okay. I'm laughing because I get to go next. I am playing the stranger. My name is Charlie. I'm 15. I wear denim overalls and a camouflage jacket that's a few sizes too big for me. My hair used to be in a pixie cut, but it's grown out all unevenly, and I've got a huge scar on my left cheek. That's from the fall. My dad got stationed nearby about a month before the fall. And for how I joined the tribe literally like 3 weeks ago. You all had, it was one of your close calls with the swipers, and I happened to have plenty of ammo and 2 M16s, so I scared them off. Which is, you let me into the tribe because I protected you all from that ambush.
Nice.
Well, the tribe needs me because, well, I've been camping a lot with my dad, and he was kind of intense, so I learned a lot of survival training stuff. I was able to find some MREs to survive before then, and we've just been foraging since then. And then who do I believe wants me out the most from the tribe? I'm probably gonna say Miss probably wants me out of the tribe because I most likely keep contradicting her. So now what we get to do is if there are any questions that you did not answer because you didn't know who everybody else was, you can answer them now. So like Mitch, who do you believe truly deserves to be the leader? Okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, hey, Miss.
Yeah.
Do you trust the tribe?
Yes.
Who do you think hates you the most in the tribe?
Probably Charlie, because they keep arguing with me.
Yep. And all right. So Charlie. Oh God. Okay. So there are a bunch of relationship questions that we all have. They're all the same. You don't have to fill them all out. And we're gonna name some like NPC other members of the tribe probably. But the relationship questions or the relationship things that we've got written down are: I respect blank. I can't stand blank. I am friendly towards blank. I trust blank with my life. I'm suspicious of blank. I'm scared of blank. Blank is my partner in crime. I love blank. I'm jealous of blank. I wish blank wasn't part of the tribe, and I am heavily indebted toward blank. Now, you
Blank
don't
is a
have to
very-
answer all of them. Yeah, blank. It's a very blanket term.
Yeah, we need to kick
Blank.
blank out of
Ah.
our tribe.
Haha, blanket. Anyway, yes, you're welcome. So you don't have to fill them all out, but you should fill out at least a couple. And we can talk about them, or we can move on to the next portion. But I think it's just really interesting to build this, build the relationships.
Yeah,
out loud.
I added somebody in the tribe named Sarah, so feel free to use it as a blank canvas and just
Cool.
project
Um,
onto that.
sure.
Yeah, for me, I would say I am suspicious of Hank, another
Okay.
member of our
What is
tribe.
Hank? What has Hank done that makes you suspicious?
I think he might know that I'm hoarding some food,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't trust him.
I am going to add Sean to the tribe. I'm gonna say he's one of the younger members, and he's super sweet.
And I am heavily indebted towards Timothy.
Okay.
We were both in a stall. I ran out of toilet paper, and he was nice enough to throw some over or under, so saved my ass.
Literally.
I hate that.
Um. Okay, so for me, I have that I respect Chris and am friendly towards him. I can't stand Lucas and wish he wasn't part of the tribe. I am also suspicious of Hank, but that's because Hank is suspicious of me. I am scared of Miss, and I love little Sean because when I first saved a bunch of people, Sean gave me a little bouquet of poison oak, but it was really sweet. Anybody else?
Yeah, I respect Charlie because works quite hard. Can't stand Hank. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I just can't. I can't do it,
No one
guys.
trusts
It's not
Hank.
happening. Friendly towards Miss, just because
Because I don't care.
I very much I very much like not having to speak. So that's just less work for me. I trust Lucas with my life because Lucas saved my life. I am suspicious of Charlie. I am also scared of Charlie. Those two are they explain one another.
Yep.
I don't love anybody. I am jealous of Sean because everybody likes Sean. And I just, that would be nice, but that's fine. It's fine. And I wish Sarah wasn't part of the tribe.
Yeah, and if
because-
people want to add in NPCs, that's cool too, like
Yeah.
suggestions and
Yeah.
stuff.
Go ahead and
throw it in.
Also, hi, Garrett.
Yeah, and I like Timothy because he started taking night watch, so it wasn't all on me.
Alrighty. So, the last thing that we have to do before we go into our little vignettes is so we're gonna do the mission moving right along. So I'm gonna make an executive decision and say that we have found an old radio cabin, one of those old AM radio cabins that was abandoned, and so we've all gone in there for the night. It has instead of having plumbing, it has a little outhouse, so we've been able to use the proper-ish facilities. And so that's where we're staying right now. So why can't we stay here?
I mean, that's obvious. The swipers are following us. And half of us have trench foot by now because it's ass cold and none of our shoes are good anymore.
Yeah, what Chris said. I agree.
Okay. Calling us /trenchfoot /frostbite, because by the calculations that we have come up with, since the fall was right before graduation, it is now December.
Mm.
And it's cold in Canada.
It is fucking cold. So frostbite. Oh no.
Okay.
What's new?
Nothing. Somebody sent me something.
Oh.
Anyway, it's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. How are you? Why is this threat insurmountable? Because we don't have enough ammo.
And we're a bunch of kids.
Right?
Yeah, and if our feet
Yeah.
go, we're immobilized.
Forward thought is not our strong point.
Yeah. Where will we go?
Maybe we've heard of a mall that's a little bit further in the city. That,
Yeah, but then the problem with that mall is we decided that we would essentially be backtracking. So the last 45 days have been for nothing. And if the swipers are still behind us, we're literally crossing their path again.
Ooh, I like this. And I made like an executive order that, yes, we are going back.
Okay. And I respect you, Lucas. I really do. But you don't want to fuck with the swipers. If we're going to do it, and if we're going to head back the way we came, we at least need to get a map and make a circle, because we can't just turn around.
Well,
I'm actually kind of leaning towards Chris, although if we keep going, there's probably another town, but a map would definitely help, because my map is only topographical.
well, I don't know about you, bud, but yeah, I think the safest thing to do is to walk back to the mall. I know it sounds dangerous, and of course, we've walked all this way, but it's a sure thing, and going forward might not yield results.
Okay, so what doubts do we have about the solution? Well, there are swipers, and we'll be backtracking. What threats do we know we will face along the way? Again, swipers. Was there anything going back that way that was treacherous that we came across?
We had a couple of close calls with patrols on the main roads where they intersected the power lines that we've been following, and if we sprung any traps, they might be on high alert on our way back. Further, I know we've been traveling pretty quickly, but if somebody's tracking our blatantly obvious footprints through the snow here, they might, who knows? I mean, somebody could be mere hours behind us at all times, and turning around would just be running into them immediately.
Also, Zeal Zaddy wants to know if they get any points to
Okay.
change things in the game. How many? What do you think, Spence?
I think that we will read it off to whoever's in charge of the scene, and they can roll for it.
Oh yeah.
And so if they roll an 8 or better, then yes, it happens, or no, it doesn't. If something is really outlandish, I will be the GM and say, no, we're not doing that. But yes, I would love that. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, give them that points.
Also, for those of you in the chat, Frenzy Kitty is the designer of this game, Gareth Graham. So give him some love. Thanks for joining us. I know it's super late where you are. So yeah. Okay. And that will also get us some more interesting play. For my players, you will all notice on your character sheet that there is also something called determination and helix. So determination is if it's your scene and you fail a roll and you really want to succeed, you can spend your determination roll and you can re-roll one of your 2d6. And then you have one helix, and the one helix is basically a nope, this doesn't happen. The only thing is that you can veto a story point, but somebody else can veto your veto if they have a helix.
It's like a game of Uno.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, but there's only one helix for this entire game today. Okay?
Yep.
Sound good? All right, cool.
Sounds good.
Right. So, the last thing we're going to do is each of us is going to do a little vignette, just a short scene of what you experienced when the fall happened. Where were you during the fall? And we will start with Miss.
So during the fall, I was at home doing my homework. And my brothers and sisters, I don't know what happened to them. Like, 2 of them were in college. And so, they probably went crazy. And mom and dad kind of went crazy too. And so I ran, but it was like the middle of the night. And, they came after me in the dock. So, that's a thing. And it was awful. And I had to hide out in the woods. And I had to talk my way in and out of a lot of different situations. So, I mean, I don't really like to talk about it. Okay, God.
Okay. And Lucas.
Well, you see there, we were at the farm, and my mom and dad were inside the house, getting ready for the day, and I was out early milking the cows, and everything was all right, and then there was this shockwave, and yeah, people just started going crazy, and I saw my sister and my mom and dad come out, and they chased me out into the woods, and I had to put down one of the horses. It was just crazy, and it's something I don't try to think about, but yeah, it's something I very much try to put behind my mind.
Chris.
Well, you see, it was early. I had been sleeping in. Somebody came in the wee hours and committed arson. If I had any idea who or why, I'd probably let you guys know. But next thing I know, I wake up and my room's covered in smoke. Mere minutes later, I'm sitting in a pile of ash.
I just realized that I didn't tell my remnant or my secret. So I am sitting at home on the base, looking at my dad's challenge ring and just flipping it over while I'm reading a camping, an ice fishing book because that's our plan for the winter. And then all of a sudden there's this frantic banging on my bedroom door. And I open it, and there's my dad. His mouth is open and his teeth are like going for me and his hands are going for me. I figure it's one of his little test things that he does sometimes to keep me like on my toes. So I roll and I watch him fall. I use his momentum against him and I run out of the door and I shut it behind me. But then I don't hear what I'm listening for, which is good job or, whatever. I hear him snarling and clawing at the door. And I look around and there are other adults running around like rabid raccoons. And so I go around to the back of my house and kick over the propane tank on our grill, point it towards the house, and click two rocks together and watch my house go up in flames. And then I run as fast as I can. Getting my dad's car and turning it on and just going. And I have never gone near the fire since then. One thing that happened during that whole altercation is that I got a big chunk of wood right in my face, and that is where my scarf came from. So I am also afraid of fire. Fire. All right. And thank you everyone for the names. We truly do appreciate it. All right. So before we continue on this adventure, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Need to take a potty break?
I just ate a bunch of Oreos, so I'm good.
Okay.
Yep.
I have cookies and seltzer. All right. So I think we'll just do a round of scenes and then we can take a break and then do another round of scenes. Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right, cool. So I'm going to say that it is dusk and I am taking the first watch. I've barred the door and shuttered the windows to make sure that nobody can look in. And I'm basically just sitting with my back to the door listening while all of the kitties are laying down on the ground in their sleeping bags. We've got a pile of extra coats over in the corner. And I've got Sean sleeping next to my foot because he doesn't like go anywhere without me. It's a puss.
It's a pants.
I know. Pants. So does anybody want to be awake with me during this time?
I will be.
Okay. So Miss, you have the opportunity to say what you're doing in this scene.
So hold on, I gotta think. So Miss will most likely she'll be sitting. Do we have a fire going? I guess that's my first question.
There is a fire going in the fireplace, and that's where most people are huddled around. But I am next to the door. I've got a ton of coats around me. to keep me warm and to keep Sean warm. But I'm not near the fire.
Okay, so I'll be near the fire and fiddling with Steggy and just looking nervous, but trying not to look nervous.
You shouldn't play with that too close to the fire, you know.
Why? Because it's made of flammable material and it's gonna burn? Don't you think I know that? God.
Whatever. Are you okay with this plan to like go back?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's kind of dumb, but my feet are frozen and the boots are wearing thin that I'm wearing right now. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's dumb because we got the swipers coming after us. But I mean, we kind of need to, don't you think?
Well, I mean, did anybody search this cabin?
I mean, we did, but there was like nothing there.
No maps or anything except
No.
for that one that shows how far the broadcast radius is.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the only thing that's useful in a place like this. So, yeah, no.
I'm gonna go check on the radio real quick, and so I turn, and there's obviously radio in the cabin, and so I check to make sure that there's batteries in it, and I turn it on very quietly and just start scanning for stations, listening to see if there's anybody talking. And I hear this. At one point I turn it up too loud and it's like, "Hello survivors," and has like lots of really weird sounds. And
You're gonna wake up the kids. God.
I turned it down. God. And I'm listening. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
Yeah, well, I'm up now, so
Yeah,
that was
sorry.
Thank you. No, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's about my time anyway for night watch.
Well, yeah.
Or is it? What? What time is it?
Yeah, you got like 30 minutes if you want to.
No, I'm up.
Okay. Well, sure.
Radio broadcast. Yeah.
Sorry, but like at least there's somebody else out there who's like saying things
Too loudly.
No, it's not. It doesn't.
So, well, so it sounds like a kid. It sounds like somebody who's like our age, trying to be like you know when they would have those competitions on the radio. Yeah.
Oh, trying to be a shock jock.
Yeah, something like that. And I turned it up slightly, and he's talking about what weather fronts he can see and any kind of movement of the fallen. So at this point, to give you all an example, if you did want to throw in a twist, or if anybody in the chat wanted to throw in a twist, you just say, I would like to spend a story point, and then tell me what you want to do. And it would generally be something that could be detrimental to the party or to myself personally. But yeah.
Are there supernatural weird things out there, or is it just zombies?
Well, they're not quite zombies because they never died. They basically got mad human disease.
Yeah, big plan of these.
Yeah. Yeah, so they all just went crazy. They just didn't get dead.
I would like to throw in a complication.
Okay, so you give a story point to me. So you